All right, so welcome in, Connie. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you both here. I'm so glad you're here. And this week's topic, this whole week, I think it's just one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. People have asked me, what's the best piece of a fitness equipment? I'm like, the one in between your ears. That's the most important piece. It's the mind space, it's the head space, it's the mindset, it's the way we think about all of the foods and about exercise. Oh, don't go away.
No, I'm here. I have to leave in about 45 minutes. And
Oh,
so
okay.
you don't need to watch me curling my hair.
Okay, awesome. No worries.
But
I'm just teasing. I like to see your smiling faces when uh,
it's funny that you say that, talk about mindset, because I'm in the process of selling my business and retiring.
ooh.
And so I'm really looking at my mindset and what I want to create in the next chapter here. And mindset, like you say, it's the whole shebang.
It is just the key to everything. I mean, every bit of our behaviors is our emotions and the meanings that we've given to certain things. So if we can control our emotions and our meanings, it will alter our behaviors. So as you know, I've been doing this 3-part series on fitness. This week I'm calling it mental fitness, but this is all about mindset, the subconscious mind, all of that sort of stuff. So I'll go ahead and, since you only have 45 minutes, I'm gonna dig right in. Oh, I didn't make my list for, I have a couple of shout outs. We've got Cynthia, who's down 20 pounds. Congratulations to Cynthia. And and that's in her first month. And she's usually on these calls. Where are you, Cynthia?
Hey,
And
I can make it. I can make it an hour. So I can adjust because I do want to hear your information.
okay, well, I do have a lot to unpack today, so we'll see. And obviously, if there's not a ton of people, there's not a ton of questions. It might even go shorter. So I
Okay.
don't, I never know. I say I'm going to talk for 40 minutes or so, and sometimes I go all the way to the full hour and then take Q&A. So I don't know.
Well, I will just
Also,
add that, I just wanted to say I'm also getting ready to go early. So if that makes any difference to you.
okay, so I can get right to it. All right, so we've got
Okay.
Jadon. She's down 34 pounds. She just did her transition call today. You guys, 34 pounds is a huge number for 12 weeks. That's a good, healthy pace to go. So be patient with yourself. I'll talk about that today, actually. Okay, so we're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about subconscious mind. I've got some success principles. I got the stages of success. I've got growth. Is your mindset in either growth or decay? We'll go over briefly the success formula. You two should really be clear on that by now. But those who are listening to this as a replay, it's a good reminder. The success formula is also in the course. Oh, there's Cynthia. The one. Welcome in, Cynthia. I just gave you your shout out. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So how fit are you? Last week, of course, as you know, we talked about physical fitness and the different modalities of exercise. And honestly, if you understand why you're doing what you're doing, you won't waste any time doing some of the other time wasting kind of stuff. So please go back and rewatch last week's if fitness is not been on your radar, if it's new for you. Having that basic understanding will take you very far. You really, really need to know that. Some of the top things you need to know is the basics on exercise, the basics on macronutrients and your foods, and then the mindset and label reading. That one's up there too. So those are kind of the 4 tops, but as you know, I go through all of that during the 12 weeks. So we've got physical fitness. This week, we're going over the mental fitness. Next week, which is my favorite, week is spiritual fitness. And that may not make sense of why would I even be talking about that in a health and wellness group, but trust and believe, I will make all this make sense, and I will tie it all together with next week's topic. So please don't miss next week. And then we've got financial fitness. And guess what? I am not going to be talking to you about that because I'm the one taking courses in that area. So, and with that, I want you guys all to know I understand what it is, what a pain in the butt it is to write down your food and journal all of your calories and all that stuff, because my financial courses have had me doing the exact same thing, only with my money. What money is coming in and where is the money going out? And if I don't know those two things, I cannot manage my money. So I understand when you guys find it difficult and challenging to do those things. I understand that. I do understand that. But I also understand how important it is. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. All right, so let's talk about the subconscious mind. Now, I put a picture of an iceberg, and as you've heard the expression, the tip of the iceberg, or it's just the tip of the iceberg. This is the tip of the iceberg is your conscious mind. As you can see, it's very small. The conscious mind is only between 5 and 10% of your total thought process. Most of your subconscious thinking, which is your behavioral mind, is beneath the surface or subconscious. It's about 95%. So this is why we struggle a lot when our conscious mind says, hey, I want to lose weight and I want to get healthy and I want to eat right and, you know, stay vibrant for longer. So I'm taking on this program. But the subconscious programs are in there telling us that, trying to bring us back to our old habits. It's the habit mind. And that's its job, is to get us back to the land of comfort. And our old habits is comfort. It doesn't care if that comfort is hurting us. If that doesn't care if that comfort is aging us or making us overweight or ruining our blood sugar levels, all that stuff. Subconscious mind doesn't know that. It just knows the programs that we've given it. So yesterday, I went briefly over, actually more briefly. Today, I'm going to go more briefly. So there's four quadrants here. So we start off in the subconscious area. The first, if you want to take some notes, there's the 4 A's, right? So the first A is asleep. You're unconsciously incapable. So imagine there's a 15-month-old child getting put in the car. He's strapped in his little car seat. Mom or dad gives him a little toy. He's going somewhere. He doesn't know where he's going. He's getting there. He doesn't know that he doesn't know how to drive. He doesn't care about driving. He doesn't want to drive. He's, unaware, completely asleep, unconsciously incapable. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. He doesn't know he can't drive because he doesn't even know what driving is. Unconsciously incapable. Then this 15-month-old baby turns to be about 15 years old. And guess what? This 15-year-old goes, hey, I really want to drive. They're aware about driving. They've been in cars. They understand there's a steering wheel and a gas pedal and a brake and all of the things, but they don't know how to drive yet. So they ask their mom or dad to teach them. They take the class in school, whatever they got to do. Then they become awake. They become consciously aware. And consciously aware, let's see, or consciously capable, I should say. I know that sounded weird. Consciously capable. But you see, in this phase, when they're 15, 16-year-old is just learning to drive, okay, where's the blinker? How do I turn the music down? The brake? Where's the thing? Oh, where's the hazard button? And it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of thinking or thought. So this is a very difficult and hard place to be, because it is hard and it is scary, and it's scary. You don't know where everything is, and you're not sure. You see a car coming. Should I turn now? Should I not turn now? All of those little things. So it's a very challenging place to be. And it's, let's see. This is where, like in our case, we're trying to use willpower. sort of a thing. So this is the challenging place. The place we want to find ourselves getting to is the place of being alive, where we're consciously capable. So imagine yourself now, 50 years later, or 40 years later, or 30 years later, you're driving a car, you don't think about any of it. It's just automatic. You can have a conversation, you can do math in your head and get from A to B and not even really remember. Why? Because your unconscious or your subconscious mind has just driven that drive so many times from work to home, from work to home, from work to home. So many times you could have a conversation on the phone with somebody and not even remember that drive home, because your subconscious mind automatically does that. So how do we translate that into health and wellness? So at first, maybe you don't realize, we're just going along with life. Things don't hurt too bad. We sleep okay sometimes. So we're asleep. We're unconsciously incapable. We don't even really realize anything's going wrong. Then we go to the doctor and they do some labs and they take some tests and they say, well, your A1C is high, or you got fatty liver, or you're at risk for diabetes, or your blood pressure's this, or whatever the case is. And then all of a sudden you're aware, it's like, but you don't know what to do. So, okay, you sign up for a course like this and here you go. And then you become consciously capable. You're following the program, you're showing up to these classes. But when you're first starting out, just like that kid trying to drive a car, you're like, well, am I allowed to eat this? What am I supposed to do? How do I meal prep? I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to plan. How do I do this? Am I allowed to eat this? How much of that am I supposed to? Am I supposed to eat enough protein at every meal? Or how many grams of carbs should I have? It's just it's a challenging place to be. And this is a tough place to be for us as people trying to get into the health and wellness space. It's hard, and our feelings is what dictates our behavior. So if I don't feel good about the process, and if I stay in this consciously capable place too long, it's too hard. It's too hard and it doesn't feel good. So I'm probably not going to stick with it. I've got to stick with it long enough to where these choices are becoming automatic, and I become into that space of being in the final A for alive, the unconsciously capable space, to where now it's automatic. Every single Sunday, I know exactly what time I'm going to be in my kitchen because I have my routines. Anyone who knows me, I go to yoga in the morning, I go to the grocery store, I come home, I meal prep, and I'm done by noon. Because this has become my new normal. But repetition is the mother of mastery. So today's talk, I am going to talk about how to get us into this space of unconsciously capable, where we're doing some of this stuff automatically, and it becomes a part of who we are. It becomes a part of just how we do life now. We talk about who you become matters. In fact, here we go, who you become. All right, so to my notes here. So identity is the strongest force in the human personality, is the need to be consistent with who you think you are. And this is a quote by Tony Robbins. And I just really, I go through phases of listening to his work and listening to his lessons and teachings. And I encourage anybody to listen to him. There's so many good motivators. They're more personal development than they are health and wellness. They usually go hand in hand, but who you become is super, super important. How you finish the sentence, I am, is a very powerful, powerful sentence. And it really determines our behavior. Like I said, the need to be consistent with your who you think you are is a very strong force in the human personality. So for example, if your goal is to write a book, your actual real goal is to become a writer. If your goal is to run a marathon or a half marathon, your goal truly is to become a runner. If your goal is to stop smoking, your goal is not to reduce smoking or whatever. Your truly goal is to become a non-smoker. I am a non-smoker. I am a runner. I am a writer. I am living a healthy lifestyle. So how we finish the sentence I am is truly important. And in module 2, yes, I believe it's module 2, there's a whole module, one of the trainings is on how to shift your identity. And, simply, if you write down all of the things, who you believe you are, you write down everything, who you believe you are. And the meaning that we give things, I said that in the beginning, it's our emotions and the meanings that we give things. So if I identify as a mom, okay, what does that mean? Is the mom nurturing? Is she loving? Is she caregiving? Is she the cook, the cleaner, the chauffeur? What is the meaning of that? What, or is she controlling and bossy or something, other things? Depends on the meaning we give things. So just because I say mom, it doesn't mean it's good or bad, but that aside. So if I put I'm a mom, I'm an American, I'm a woman, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a good friend, I'm a dancer, I'm a Sagittarius. All of these are different little identities that I have. And that's basically how I'm going to show up. I am a fitness professional. So it's different things. And so you write down all of the things that you think you are, and include in that list the things that you would like to become. I am living a healthy lifestyle. I am learning to cook. I am learning to read labels. Some of those kinds of things. And then you circle your top 3 that you either really want or that you really love. So of all the list, write down 15 or 20 or as many as you can think of, and take your top 3 or your top 5. And at the end of each day, write down ways that you are doing that. Because right now, if I say, oh, I am fit and I'm slim, and I get on the scale and it doesn't say that, or I take my blood sugars and they're off, they're in the 300s. Obviously, I'm not healthy just yet. But if I say I am becoming a healthy person, at the end of the day, I'm going to write down different things that I did to make me become a healthier person, or whatever it is, whatever identity that I'm trying to create for myself. So again, if I'm trying to become a healthier person, I made my food today. I ate a good lunch today. I made a good choice at the restaurant with my friends last night. I went to the gym, whatever the case is. And what this does is it proves it's programming that subconscious mind that, that bottom of that iceberg I had in the beginning. It's programming that to realize that it's true, that you really, truly are becoming it. Because at first it's if I say I am fit and I am healthy, my conscious mind says, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. So it's really important that we prove to our own self. And this is how you start to shift your own identity. But I can't tell you how powerful this piece of the puzzle is. Oh, there he says it. The strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with who you think you are. So I've got that one memorized. I don't memorize a lot of the sayings, but this one strikes me, and I believe it wholeheartedly. And Jim Rohn, he's another one. You guys want to follow him, listen to his stuff. He's not alive anymore, but go to YouTube, listen to him. He's funny and he's inspiring, and he challenges my thinking. And so I would really just encourage you to listen to some of his stuff. But he says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. So as you become fitter and healthier, you're going to start to see more opportunities to become fitter and healthier. You're going to start to see these recipes. You're going to start to see the yoga studio opening up right next to your grocery store. You're going to start to see gym clothes on sale. You're going to catch that. Those things will start to really come into your frame. I'll talk about that in a second. So, Anyways, who you become is how you start to shift your behaviors. Focusing on the solutions and not the problems. We really want to develop a curiosity mindset. Energy flows where focus goes. This is really, really important. Focusing on all the right things. What are you looking up on the internet? When you go to Pinterest, are you looking up healthy paleo recipes? Or are you looking at those cheesy, creamy, pasta-like sort of dishes that, you know, are mouth-watering, but not on our same track? If your energy is going on the stuff that's going to take you off track, but you're giving it attention and you're giving it energy, it's going to be real hard to stay away from that stuff. If you're constantly focusing on the healthy choices, what can I eat? What can I eat? What can I eat? And all those good things, and finding these good recipes and trying them, that energy will get into that subconscious mind. Asking different questions. So yeah, what can I eat? Instead of looking at it like, oh, I can't have wine, I can't have coffee, I can't have bread, I can't have cheese, I can't have steak, and you know, I can't have sugary desserts. And you know, that this is a negative feeling, and it's coming from a sense of lack, and it doesn't feel good. And like I said in the beginning, we're not going to stick with anything that doesn't feel good. But even the tonality in which we ask the questions. And, you know, when we get to that place of being alive, where we're unconsciously capable, instead of beating myself up, like, you know, so I did eat the dessert, or I did eat the slice of pizza. Like, why did you do that? You know, like, I'm shaming my own self. I'm having an argument in my own self, which actually creates toxins in the body. When you're out of alignment and you're not, when you're arguing with yourself, it literally creates toxins in the body. So rather than say, why did I do that? You idiot. And you know, that negative self-talk, changing it up to like, why did I do that? Like, why? And be like, but try to really look at it in a different perspective. Like, why did I order macaroni and cheese instead of this salad? Like, why did I do that? Not beating yourself up, not shaming or blaming yourself for being a bad person, because you're not a bad person, but changing that tonality. Why did I do that? Rather than, why did I do that? Alrighty. This thing over. Prioritize learning. This is huge. I truly believe this is where my mind shift changed, where my subconscious mind, this is how I got into being in that space of alive, where it was automatic to eat healthy for me. And it was because I was learning about the glycemic index. I was writing my books. And because I dug into it and I learned about it, and I learned more about it, and I learned more about it, and I learned more about it, and then I learned some more about it again, and I kept on pursuing it, the more I got that in my head, the harder it became to make the wrong choices, to eat the bad foods. Because bread was my thing, and I could eat bread all day, every day if you'd let me. I'm Italian, so pasta and bread, of course you eat all that. Of course we do. Not anymore, but just learning new skills, learning recipes. If you're not a cook, start with boiling some water just to show yourself that you can. Okay, I boiled water. Now maybe add some bouillon in there, call it soup. So start small and work your way up. Practicing the workouts, those are in module 5 in the course. Learning how to do different things and what different exercises are doing to which parts of your body. Why are they doing that? The more you learn this stuff, and if you do it on a consistent basis, like I said, repetition is the mother of mastery. If we're looking at this daily, and by the way, all of you who are here, or if you're listening to this as a replay, you guys are the ones that are doing the best. I'm telling you, the people that when they turn their homework in and they have 0 replays and 0 live calls, I can see what their numbers are. They're not doing as well. Some are still doing okay, but the ones who are doing the best are the ones showing up here. So just kudos to you. Understand you're not wasting your time. Viewing challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. I think that's a huge one, because obstacles will come. So, okay, so, again, asking different questions. how can I do that differently? So, okay, I go to the party and there's all these, the cheese platter and the dessert tray and all the things, and the breads and the crackers and the chips and all the carbs and all the things. It's, if I think of that as an obstacle and it's hard and I can't do this, it doesn't feel good, I'm not going to stick with this. So maybe it's an opportunity for me to bring a dish to next time I go to a party. Again, asking different questions. What can I do? Or what could I have done different? An opportunity would be bring a dish. Or if you're having the party, make things that nobody knows are actually healthy. A lot of the foods on our recipe book, you guys, is delicious and healthy. Avoid giving attention to the bad stuff. That's what I was talking about. If we go online and looking at Pinterest, don't look at those cheesy, creamy recipes. Just avoid them. Zero contact. Don't even look at them. Look at the recipes that are compliant with the stuff. The more you give it your attention, as I said, be curious about what you can eat. It will start to become that unconscious automatic choice that you're going to make. And by doing all of that stuff, you're training your brain to say to what is important. You have something called the reticular activating system. I've talked about it several times in different topics, but basically what that is it's the filter that lets information in. So especially these days with the internet, and my watch will even alert me to something. I got an email. I got this. I got that. I'm driving down the street. There's billboards. There's my phone that gives me advertising. There's a computer that gives me advertising. There's signs everywhere. There's just little things pop up when I go into my apps. There's just stuff everywhere. So the only way I'm going to see what I think is important, my reticular activating system is the one that lets that information through. So by showing up to these calls, by learning your macronutrients and label reading and all of this stuff that we teach, you are training your reticular activating system to see the stuff that will help you. And it's real easy. All you got to do is just pay attention to the good stuff. Pay attention to the stuff that will help you. That's how you train your reticular activating system. So that's just a really important piece. There's a million pieces because it's like if you drive a Camry, which is what I drive, I see Camrys everywhere. Why? Because it's important. I love my Camry. It's a beautiful, wonderful car. But I don't see a Ford Focus hardly ever. I can't tell you last time I saw one. Why? Because I don't want one. I don't care about it. It's not important to me. Nothing wrong with the Ford Focus. It's just never been on my radar. I dated a guy who was totally into Corvettes. And after dating him, now I start to see them because he was teaching me about them. So it became part of what my reticular activating system was curious about and wants me to get more information. So the more you give it attention, energy flows where focus goes, the more attention you give to the good stuff that will serve you, like these calls and like the course and like some of the homework and like some of the writing exercise we ask. It'll train your reticular activating system to show you opportunities. And then the next step, of course, is to take the action. All right, Jack Canfield, another guy, write him down. You want to listen to his stuff on YouTube as well. And he's the guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul and then all the series. By the way, my mom is it one or two of his books? I think she might have gotten a second one of his books. She wrote an article. She was asked by someone, a friend of ours was an editor for them, and she was asked to write the article, and it got accepted. So that's a cool thing. So I think it was age is just a number, because my mom is 86. So anyway, all right. So the next piece is, this is empowering. This is your empowering piece. All right, so being 100% responsible. This is a challenge in a lot of ways because it's in some ways easier to not be responsible. It's easier to blame something or someone else or whatever the condition is. So an example would be I didn't work out because my plan was to walk outside and it's raining. Or I didn't work out because the gym that I go to is being remodeled and it's closed. Or for whatever reason, or I didn't work out because my ankle hurts. Okay, those are all valid reasons, but how could you take responsibility? The reason why this is important, because if we blame someone or something else, or the weather, or whatever it is, then we lose our own empowerment, our own result. We're going to give somebody or something else the power to control our results. We don't want to do that. We want to take our power back. So if I say, well, it's raining outside, maybe I can turn on YouTube and watch one of those workout videos. Or my ankle hurts, maybe I can turn YouTube on and look up a sit and be fit class. Or my gym is closed, I can do a yoga class myself at home, or whatever the case may be. If you go into the office and somebody brought donuts, are you going to give them the power to ruin the results that you want so badly? Or do you take responsibility and next time you bring a different kind of a treat so you're not tempted by the donuts? So taking full responsibility is a very empowering thing. It's harder to do at first, but once you do, yes, it is my fault. Yes, I am in charge. I am in charge of what I put in my mouth. I'm in charge of what I think. I'm in charge of what I say. I'm in charge of what I do. That's a tougher place, but it's very empowering because then I get to have the results that I want. Oh, E plus R equals O. So the event plus your response equals the outcome. So if the event is like, well, I hurt my ankle, I can't, first thought is I can't exercise, but my response is, well, I can do upper body. I can sit down and do my shoulders and my arms or my back or my chest. That would be my response. My outcome is going to be quite a bit different than if I just say, okay, if my response is, oh, my ankle hurts, I can't work out, so I might as well just not work out. Different outcome, right? All right, next up, we've got 99% is hard, 100% is easy. What does that even mean? So I put a picture of poker chips here because I want us to go all in. To take that whole big pile, push it all in. Go all in. You know, I have a lot of people, I've been doing this for many years, and I have a lot of people go, yeah, I'm going to try the program. Like, oh, that makes me a little nervous. Don't try the program. Please do not try this program. Just go all in and do it. You know, just do it. It's of course it's going to be hard. Of course it's not going to be comfortable. We're going to be in that awake place where it is uncomfortable. We're still learning to drive. We're still learning what food's allowed. What am I supposed to eat? How much protein am I supposed to have? All those things. There's a challenge to it. But just do the best you can, go all completely in. If you go 99, oh, let me try to do it. There's always in the back of that mind, in that subconscious mind, if I'm going to try something, there's that kind of exit door where, you know, I tried it and it didn't work. If you did it, it will work. Don't try to do it. I would say try to get out of that chair you're sitting in. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. So go all in. And here's Jack Canfield again. You have to take risks to get to that next level. Yes, we have to do the work sometimes, and it does get uncomfortable at first when we're trying to figure out what supplements to take and how many, which ones before the food and which ones after the food, and how much spinach should I have and all the things. Yeah, but just hang in there and keep doing, not trying, doing. All right. All right, so next up we've got justice. This is an important one. This is an important one. One of the things, the lady who I was listening to this week in her, she was the one who gave me the 4 A's, the asleep, the aware, the awake, and the alive. She was talking about this, and she says, one of the things, you know, the problem is a lot of us have conflicting beliefs. We believe both things. I really want to get healthy and I really want a slice of pizza. I believe they're both true. Like, well, how do we do that? We've got conflicting stuff. So what happens is a lot of times we give into the pizza or whatever, fill in the blank, whatever that your kryptonite is. But we beat ourselves up over and over and over, and we blame ourselves and we shame ourselves and we guilt ourselves. And these are negative, 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 lower vibrational feelings, and they don't serve us. So you've got to give yourself some grace. Just giving yourself some grace. If we have a slice of pizza, we had the cookie, we had the thing, get back on the track and keep on going. Keep your eye on that prize. Keep your eye on your vision. All right, and next up we've got persistence. Let's see. Yeah, do not accept defeat. So yeah, we had the cookie, we had the slice of pizza, but get right back on track and keep going. So let me just go through the cycle of success. This is why we need to stick with the program. Let me see, where can I put you guys here? All right. So the cycle of success. Number one, we've got uninformed optimism. This is where we're right here up the top. We are on the top of the world. We're so excited. We just heard Dr. Infantino talk, and everything he said resonated and it makes sense. And I'm super excited. I can't wait to get started. I don't know what what's all involved, but I'm going to do this. I smacked down the money. I'm reading through the book. I set up my onboarding call. I'm getting ready to start. I am so, so, so excited. Really optimistic about it. And then we get started. And in space number 2, it's called informed pessimism. Like, oh man, this is not as easy as I thought. This is a little harder than I thought. I'm going to the party this week. I'm going to a wedding this week. How am I supposed to get through all this stuff? I got a conference to go to. I'm traveling. What do I do on the airplane? So we start to feel a little bit stuck, and we start to realize this is hard. This is challenging. Kind of like that consciously capable space where it's challenging. And we keep going, and sometimes we get all the way down into space number 3, which is the valley of despair. And unfortunately, guys, this valley of despair things are not easy yet. We don't know what we're doing yet. We're just like that kid trying to drive a car. Should I turn? Should I not turn? Oh, the car's coming. The car's too close. I don't know. Should I brake? Should I go ahead and keep going? Where's the blinker? All the things. And it becomes challenging enough that this is where a lot of people fall out. And unfortunately, some don't come back. The problem with this space, if you leave during this hard time, hang in there, persistence. The problem with this space, we fall out, we say, forget it, I'm done, I quit. And then days or a week or some period of time later, you go, I really wanted to lose that weight. I really wanted to get off my metformin. I really want my blood pressure to be normal. I really want my energy back. So guess what we do? We sign up for something else. We're all excited again. And then we go through this same little bit of a cycle. It's too hard, I quit. We get excited, we sign up for something else. We feel a little stuck. It gets hard and we quit. So if things get hard, you book a time with me, book a time with your coach, hang in there, and guess what? You hang in there. I'm going to remind you how far you've come. That's the beauty of having someone in your corner. I'll give you some strategies. We'll brainstorm through some different situations and scenarios, but you start to realize, oh, I actually have lost 20 pounds in my first month. I am doing pretty good. I'm not, I wanted to lose more, but hey, I look at this. I'm sleeping better. My digestive system is moving every day. Wow, I didn't even realize how much better I feel. This is pretty good. And you keep going and you keep going and keep going. And this breakthrough is the informed optimism, because you start to realize and you start to become more optimistic, that this thing can work and will work and is working. And so then you keep going, and then you have your success realized. So just don't give up. Stay persistent. And last thing, there's the mindset. we are either in growth or we are in decay. I went over this on Monday night. Tuesday, I went over the 4 A's, the asleep, the aware, the awake, and the alive. That I went deep dive on that on Tuesday. So I encourage you to go back and listen to that. I talked for at least a half an hour on that one, and that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And then, like I said, the mindset where, if we think, well, I have to know everything, I have to read the whole book, I have to know how much protein I need to know all these things. I need to know how to count calories and how to cook and how to all this stuff. This is going to get us more stuck. So a fixed mindset, it leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to avoid challenges. We give up too easy. We see efforts as fruitless or worse. We can't do it. I just can't do it. We ignore useful negative feedback. Feedback is awesome. Man, when I had my businesses, my gym or my vitamin store, if a customer came to me and gave me feedback, which would normally sound negative, I was thrilled, because if I don't know customers unhappy, how am I going to fix it? We need to be open to that stuff. So don't be mad at me if I didn't like your journals. Okay, so having a growth mindset, now we're going to learn to embrace challenges. Give yourself the grace if we fall off and eat the cookie. Persist in the face of setbacks. Yes, get back on that horse. Get back on that horse. See effort as the path of mastery. Yes, learn from criticism. Find lessons and inspiration and success in others. Learn from other people's mistakes. All of that stuff. Be coachable. Somebody is in the chat and said, so true, life gets in the way. Yes, it does. But we can use that as an obstacle, or it can be a challenge. Let's just let it be a challenge. Well, what can we do to get past it, through it, over it, around it? How do we deal with that challenge? All right, and just to recap, the success formula, most of the people in this group should probably know this one, but just to recap, this is how we change the wiring of that subconscious mind. It is huge. The subconscious mind, like I said, it's very emotional. It's only the only way to change a subconscious mind is through trauma or a strong emotion, giving it strong emotion. So first of all, you're going to decide what it is that you want to create. What is it you want? So you guys wanted health and wellness. That's why you're here. If you want to write that book or open your business or move to another state or whatever the case, what do you want to do? Figure it out, find the one thing, and kind of don't do a bunch of 25 things. Pick something you really want to go for and focus. What is the most important thing? Which thing, you have a lot of things that you want to achieve. Which things would change your life for the absolute best and make your life so much better? Pick that thing, decide on it, and go for it. Go all in, 100%, not 99%, right? Now I want you to visualize that in your mind's eye. What does it look like? What are you wearing? What are you doing? You're playing with your grandkids. Feel, see yourself playing with them. What are you doing? Are you pushing them on the swing? Are you playing hide and seek? Are you walking an entire day at an amusement park? What does it look like? What do you see in the mirror when you look back at your new fit self? What does that look like? And then you've got to give it some emotion. The only way to create that new program in your subconscious mind is to feel what it feels like to have already achieved it. Just feel the joy. I feel so proud of myself. I feel joyful. I feel accomplished. I feel so good. I feel healthy. I feel vibrant. What does it feel like? And this is on repeat. We got to repeat this over and over and over again. So this is why it's important to write out your vision, like in module 2, training number 1. When you see it and feel it over and over and over and over again, your subconscious mind does not know real from imagined. So it will start to believe it. When it starts to, and this is how you train your reticular activating system. If you see it and feel it over and over and over again, your subconscious mind will notice the things that are going to serve you. You will start to see recipe books you will start, that will just come out. You, how did I never notice this before? When I started learning about the glycemic index, I started noticing low glycemic on different food labels. It's not on a lot of them, but if it was there, I'd see it because my reticular activating system is excited to learn about this glycemic index stuff. So if you see it and feel, believing it's the hardest part and the easiest part. If you're practicing your success formula, you will begin to believe it. And all the possibilities, what does that look like and what does that feel like? Your subconscious mind will then believe it, and then you got to take the action. So if I see the recipe, I need to print it out, go to the store, get the ingredients, and make it. Do it, take the action. If I see a sale on workout clothes or new tennis shoes, go buy them, go try them on. If I see a new Pilates studio opening up next to my cleaners that I go to, go in there and see what they're offering. Try it, take the action. This should not be new, but the success formula, I can tell you it's worked for me. And the few times that I've really succeeded at some things, I didn't even realize I was doing the success formula, but it does work. All right, anybody have any questions or comments or thoughts?
This was right down my alley today of what I was looking for. It's very encouraging. Thank you.
Oh, good. Hopefully you can get into Tuesdays, when I talked about the 4 quadrants around the iceberg, so to speak. I went deeper dive into that. That lesson might be a good one for you too. Just because it talks about that internal dialogue where there's 2 opposing beliefs and how to kind of get through all that.
Perfect. I will.
So I think that will be helpful. Hopefully. I found it fascinating. I was listening to the seminar. She was talking about addictions, and it doesn't matter what it is, if it's food or if it's drugs or gambling or whatever, spending money. We're all human. We have our ways of, escaping or feeling better. But I just thought that information was fascinating. So, and the more I teach it, the more I learn it too. So it's a win-win for everybody. All right.
Tammy, a lot of my friends and family, when they're watching me, but when I tell them some of the things that I'm doing, their answer is, "Oh, I could never do that. I couldn't go 5 days without eating." Yeah, you probably couldn't because you're not in the mindset that I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in the
it's a
mindset
belief. That is a belief. That
Do
is
it or die. That's the mindset I'm in, and so far I'm doing.
You are doing. You said because you did. You took all those poker chips and you went all in.
All in.
And when you get to that place, who said it? It was a famous quote. Your current condition. Oh, how does it go now? Your current condition has to be. It's to be more uncomfortable than the uncomfortable. Than how uncomfortable it will be to change. I butchered that. Gosh, I can't pull it out of my hat right now, but it was something like that. Once you get to the place, I'm not done. I'm done.
Isn't it the pain of staying? You won't change until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Exactly.
That's the one. That's the saying I was trying to say. Thank you. Let's say that again. Say it again.
Oh gosh. Okay. You won't change until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Yes, that's exactly the quote I was trying to say, and I butchered it pretty bad, but you pulled it out. Thank you for that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It was in the recesses of my mind, but I found it.
Well, just in time, just in the nick of time. Awesome.
I don't say that in a bragging way. I don't mean it that way. It's just that they're not in the mindset that I'm in of I'm going to do this.
When you said that, it made me think of those 4 A's that Tammy just talked about. They're in a different A than you are.
That's right. Exactly.
That's all. They're
Yeah,
just not at the same point. It's not that they couldn't do it.
that's right.
Yeah,
It's
because if they
just,
set their mind, they would.
Yes. But that's what they say. Oh, I could never do that. Well, I try to explain what we're doing is eating the right things, a vegetable, a protein, and a fat. Now, when you get to my age, you don't have the appetite you used to have. That's probably a good thing. Because if you did, because your metabolism is somewhat lower, you would really gain weight. But it's just now I forgot what I was going to say. Um, anyway, they could do it if they wanted to do it, you know.
I
But
think when I was raising my kids, I had a part-time job working in a restaurant, just working a lunch shift or whatever. And, the business, it was a nice French restaurant. He owned the business, but the owner was always there. And I'm like, I could never do that. I could never own a business. I would never, I don't want to put all my eggs in, like, the business owned him, literally. And I grew up, so to speak. I got to one of the other A's, and then what did I do? I opened up a gym, my very own business, 1,550 square foot, gym. And it owned me and it did all the things, but I was ready for it. I wanted it at that point. I really did. I mean, I was already a trainer and I felt good about teaching this to other people. And I surrounded myself with other business owners in efforts to promote my personal training business because I was a personal trainer. I'd go in home to people's homes. And because I was in the Chamber of Commerce and because I was in networking groups, I was literally surrounded by other business owners. So it became the new normal. It became the natural. Of course, you're going to open a business like a brick and mortar where the door locks and you're paying your lease and you have an address and all of that stuff. But years prior, when I wasn't ready, I wasn't ready. And then I surrounded myself. And that's why, again, these groups are important because you're surrounding yourself with other like-minded people. And it becomes just normal that we work out or exercise on some level. It becomes normal to meal prep and normally eat vegetables at every meal. It just becomes the new normal. And now it's not even like this impossible not eating for 5 days. It's like, nope, I'm just giving my body a reset. That's all I'm doing. It's a different perspective.
what I was going to say a while ago too was we at our age we don't eat right. We don't eat vegetables. We don't. But now that I've been doing this for 5 or 6 weeks, it just comes pretty natural to eat 2 vegetables and or maybe a protein and a couple of vegetables. And that's going to make you feel better in itself.
Yes.
And, but a lot of women my age, especially if they live alone, they don't want to cook just for themselves. But it's not that I mind cooking. It's what I don't like cleaning up the kitchen. But, you're talking about maybe 2 pots, maybe. And I don't like leftovers, so I'd rather cook a little bit here. I mean, I can eat
Oh, I was going to
leftovers,
say
but I don't like
you could batch cook, but if you don't like leftovers, that's not going to work for you because
Yeah.
that's how I roll, man. I'll eat my same, like Sunday I make my whatever, and that's what I have for lunch every day for the next 4 days. And I'm
I can
happy
eat it the
about
next
it,
day.
but I don't have to do any dishes except for the bowl
Yes,
that I put it in.
that's right. That's the good thing about the cleanse days. So you don't have to worry about cooking nor cleaning.
There's there's your incentive.
That's right.
That's awesome. Anybody else have any, it doesn't have to be related to mindset. If you have other questions, that's what these calls are for. So you don't have to wait to book a private call.
Well, yesterday I went, I asked you the day before about because we can't order the shakes anymore right now. And I asked you and you said the Blue Bonnet, and I went to the health food store and they only had 2 flavors, the original flavor, which I didn't know what that was, and the vanilla. And the girl said, the vanilla is like eating a bowl of ice cream. And I fixed me one for this morning. Oh my goodness. I use my Ninja with ice and a cup of water and a scoop of that. it was like eating a bowl of ice cream.
It was,
just delicious.
it was the Blue Bonnet.
It was the Bluebonnet vanilla is what, yes, yes. Oh, it was so good. I mean, it doesn't have quite, let's see, as many calories as the other.
Well, ours has more things. It has prebiotics in it.
Okay.
It's designed a little different. But for now, it's in a pinch. At least you're getting that good protein in. It's higher in
Right.
protein. I believe it's
Yes.
26 grams,
Mhm,
whereas
it
ours is
is.
only 20. So,
Yes.
you know,
But
there's
it
that
is,
much.
it's delicious. I mean, it's like eating a bowl of ice cream, really.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No.
Yeah. So you can make popsicles with that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
You can add some cocoa powder, some unsweetened cocoa powder, and now you have fudgesicles.
That's right. Yeah, it was so good.
That's great.
And then I also got me a probiotic for the gut is what I got yesterday. And I
Oh,
was
good.
kind of leery about taking one last night. I didn't know what it was going to do to me today, but so far so good. You know, it's working out. So that's just to hold me over until we can order
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. That's
Yeah.
nothing better than a bowl of ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
That's my comfort food is ice cream. So I can't really keep that in the house. It's just not.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna have it, I have to go out, drive my car, go get it, just call it done. And then that I'm good for a while. If it's in the house, it starts to become a daily problem
Yeah.
for me.
Well, mine is chips and dips. I mean, chips and junk and candy and cookies. I haven't cleaned out my cabinet but it's kind of like, of course, I was a smoker and I prayed about it and God helped me to quit smoking. I smoked for 50 years. And
Wow.
5 years ago, I quit smoking, but I kept a pack of cigarettes on top of the refrigerator unopened for probably 2 or 3 years and finally threw them away. And that's kind of like those snacks in there. They're probably stale and I probably wouldn't want to eat them, but I'm scared to go clean them out because I'm scared if I do, I'll
It's
make me crave them
a
later.
safety net. So leave them there.
Yeah.
If this is your MO, because it sounds like it is, that's
Uh-huh.
great. It's there. I can have it anytime I want it.
Yeah.
And that's what the lady said, the lady who did the 4As, she said, I can have anything I want as much as I want. She said, but the good news is I want healthy stuff. So,
Right.
so it's not like instead of a limited, oh, I can't,
Right.
as I can have as much as I want. The trick is learning to want the good stuff. That's why I do the one on the topic on aging. All the foods that help us, our skin and our eyes and our hearts and our brains and all the things that start to go as we age. If we're eating it for maybe a different reason, I don't care what, as long as it's a meaning that's going to make us want it more. Because I want healthy foods. So,
Yeah.
and that's what she was saying. I was like, that was perfect.
Well, I think to myself, I could eat it, but then I'm going to beat myself up tomorrow because I did. So I just don't eat it and I don't.
Well, and back to the thing of asking different questions. Do I really want that? Do I really want all that comes with it, like the guilt and the yuck?
Right.
Nope,
Mhm.
nope, not today. Not today,
No.
say.
Right. Right. Mm. But so far,
All
so
right.
good.
Yeah, awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining today and your participation. As always, I appreciate. I know some people had to leave early, but I'm so glad you guys are here. And I will see you guys all next time. You're welcome, Michelle. We're glad you're here.
All right. Thank you, Tammy.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.